Cindy Finch joins us now, and Cindy is a social worker in Rochester and also a writer, and you are also a non-Hodgkin lymphoma survivor. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
So tell us about your work with people who have cancer and your message to them.
Okay, well, I did have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when I was 31.
Yeah.
So I kind of found myself in this position of going, wow, I'm really young, and I hear I have this aggressive form of lymphoma while I was pregnant. It rocked our world, and it changed so many things, and it kind of brought my mortality and where my family was going to go into so much question. So we made it through lymphoma. It was a very difficult time. It was an 8-inch wide tumor in my chest. And I thought, what's a girl like me doing in a story like this? But what I found out is that that story set a path for my life, and it set a tone for all that I would do from that point forward. I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada at the time, which is a big difference from Rochester. But 5 years after my diagnosis, I got the proverbial get-out-of-jail-free card by going into remission. I have 3 children and a husband. So I did a celebratory triathlon. Young lady, I'm
good for you.
Kicking cancer out of the way. And I developed congestive heart failure after that. And what had happened is the cancer treatments had given me massive internal organ damage, the chemotherapy and the radiation. So that brought me to Rochester and Mayo Clinic, where I had open heart and open lung surgery, which ended up saving my life. What I didn't know is 11 months after my initial cancer treatment, a new cancer drug would be developed that would have prevented all of those problems. The name of that treatment is Rituxan. And so one of the things that I'm passionate about is meeting cancer patients like myself and transplant patients right where they're at and telling them what I wanted to hear, which is there's hope. God has a plan in all of this. You can safely take his hand and walk with him. And it is what it is.
You know, when we were talking, you said this is the best, worst thing that can happen to you, and you really explain what that means.
The best, worst thing, when the big C comes into your life, everybody's so afraid of that. It seems to come in and take over, and it terrorizes our lives. But the other thing, this silver lining that can often be found, is that when a person goes through something like suffering or a really treacherous cancer, is that it begins to strip away the external things that really didn't matter about life, and it begins to reveal who they are, and it begins to step them in and take them into a new place they may never have gone before. It connects them to humanity, it connects them to eternity in one way or the other. When your life is brought to this screaming halt, you begin to think about spiritual things and about what's going to happen with life.
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture, definitely. And this huge life lesson comes out of it, that I'm not sufficient on my own. I need people to take care of me. I need someone to journey with me. And I need somebody bigger than me that can take me and walk this through that.
When I talk to you, there really is a message of hope, even in the middle of a storm. There's a silver lining, and that is your message.
I think so, and we actually, Jill Pearson and I, a musician, work with cancer patients at Hope Lodge, High Hope Lodge, and at Gift of Life Transplant House. And we do an evening of inspiration and encouragement, and we bring music, and we bring stories and poems, and even a message from the Bible that says, you can walk this, and family member that's walking with them, it's going to be okay. You've been assigned to this time in this place to walk your loved one through this. And we celebrate with them, even though some of them are dying. We celebrate and say, this is going to be okay. God's got it.
I think so many people who are watching this are going to really relate to that message, and so I just really thank you for sharing that with us. And also, we want to mention that Rochester Magazine this month is, tell us about the ladies on the cover here.
Oh, Rochester Women's Magazine is, I love what they're doing. It's a great project, but they actually allowed me to write an article this month called Pajama Soup. And Pajama Soup talks about the ripple effect of cancer or terminal illness or trauma on a person's life, and how it has an effect not on just them, but on the caretakers and on the family members and on the community that's watching. So I just want to point that out and say that they're doing an awesome job.
And it's so timely, you know, during our Eagles Cancer Telethon to have, you know, this come out and to have these women's stories and the ripple effects. So this would be some very good reading as well.
I think so.
Well, thank you so much. I just really appreciate you being here with us, Cindy, and that you survived.
Thank you.
You survived. You survived everything that life dealt you, and you survived it with so much hope.
Thanks. I'm so honored to survive, and thank you for having me. It's fun. I love doing this.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy.
Okay.
Back now to our telethon.